Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at a runecraft variant that is very reminiscent of Earth Rune, but at the same time being a spell boost rune, so it's a very interesting combination of those two archetypes. It does seem to be mainly actually focusing on the burn archetype from what I can gather, instead of using straight up burn, though it is relying on things like Twin Mage and Zealot of Truth for your big storm damage, and really just using every other kind of card to support that archetype and deal said damage. So that should be fairly interesting, and it does bring something fairly different to Rune compared to the Evo Rune that we've been covering lately, so we're going to get right into this and check it out. So my first game here is against a dragon. Something a little different. You don't see too many dragons on ladder currently, at least I haven't personally. So we have double Robo Goblin and a magic missile. That's fairly decent. I can work with those. So the opponent not doing anything on turn 1, that's good for us because we don't have a turn 1 either. I found that the Golem play is really good, getting that extra burn damage into your hand, and you'll see that in these matches, how good it can definitely be. Dragon Oracle, really good for getting that ramp for our opponent. We just need to kind of take over this game early with some followers, since our opponent is burning through the first initial turns. We do need to take out that 4-4, which we should be able to do fairly easily with Tetra here. And we should actually be able to heal Tetra most of the way out, which is good. And we get the Delta Cannon, which is a very important card, especially being able to go face with it makes a huge difference. Alright, so now dealing with that board is not going to be easy for the Dragon player. And it's so not easy that they did end up conceding super early on. So this was a quicker game. It does show its snowball effect though, so quite good. Now for a bit more of a fleshed out game, we are going up against a Blood.
Time to shine, Daria.
Should be a little more interesting. This deck actually does tend to pick off Bloodcraft and Elena decks fairly well. Elena can be a little trickier because of course the healing and quick early game, but Blood typically is a fairly straightforward matchup for this deck. So the Insight is a great turn 1 play for us. It's going to give us some definite value. I don't have any turn 2 play outside just playing Knowledge Seeker though, which is a little bit of a letdown. But that does at least get us the Ritual into our hand, and that is 3 damage that we can send to face whenever we want. And Nightmare Dream Eater, not really a problem. We're going to go for Smilemancer and get that Earth Sigil onto the board and ping. Unleash Nightmares. They're aiming for their Vengeance. They haven't managed to pull it out yet, but I would expect it soon, so that's why we're playing the way we are. Throwing down an early Tetra, just to soak up any potential damage they could do. And it puts something they have to deal with onto the board, which is good. Urias, that's a fair play, but without its free evo, it's a little rough. I personally have to get used to using Urias with its free evo. I always find myself forgetting that it does have that free evo effect when you've got Vengeance active, but obviously, like I said, this game, they don't have that. Now our chance for our Golem, and since we do have 2 of them, we can actually go for a fairly decent play with it next turn. We can actually proc all of our amulets and still have another Golem ready to set up if we want to. No evo, so they're not setting themselves to 10 yet. Which isn't a bad look for us. And we got at least a decent amount of damage in hand now. We can get the Delta Cannon into our hand. That guarantees us 8 damage, double Ritual plus Delta Cannon for turn 7. And a nice repair mode to keep our Tetra healthy, and we'll throw an extra repair mode on our face since we do have the Twin Blade and the Zealot as well. So they'll be both really low cost next turn. Alright, and they're going for the Azazel this time. This is why this deck can be so good against Blood. If they ever go for Azazel, you can quite easily ping them down, since they can only take 3 at a time and most of your damage does cap at 3. So we get the Ritual, plus the Ritual, and a Delta Cannon, still leaving us with 2 points, which we could have went for the Twin Blade Mage if they didn't have Ward, but since we do need the clear here as well anyway, so why not? Take him out either way, and just end the game. So this was a fair bit shorter video, only reaching about the 5-minute mark, but this deck is really solid and I've had a lot of fun playing it so far. It is just really good. Straight up burning out players works well, and it seems to be pretty good with the current meta decks that are floating around, but it'll be interesting to see where it lines up by the end of the month, when everything has just completely gone stale by that point. By the end of the month, if we don't see a nerf change, the meta you can expect just to be pretty much dead set and not going to be changed. But if we do see some sort of change by then, I'll expect it to be probably to Blood and Haven, obviously, predominantly, and probably see 1 or 2 card change in some form. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find this deck list in the description below. Until next time, guys, see ya.